This Hillel will serve as a place of Jewish learning, celebrations, heritage, and a home away from home for all of our students. We are so thrilled to have Larry Silver and Spencer Silver, whose tremendous generosity and vision brought the dream of vibrant Jewish life to the University of Mary Washington and the Fredericksburg community. But first, I'd like to introduce the fearless leader of Hillel International, an organization that has supported tens of thousands of students on 550 campuses all around the world, CEO and President Adam Lehman.
I am just delighted to be here today in Fredericksburg at the University of Mary Washington for this very important opening and dedication. As the rabbi mentioned, I'm here representing Hillel International. At Hillel, we focus on creating warm, welcoming, and inclusive Jewish student communities where professionals like Rabbi Sherman can inspire every Jewish student to make an enduring commitment to Jewish life, to Jewish learning, to Israel, and to all the values of our community. And it is just spectacular to see here today the dedication and the opening of the Maxine and Carl D. Silver Hillel Center with this Mezuzah being applied here. This is the direct result of the vision, the passion, the dedication, and the generosity of Larry Silver and his family. We are here today creating an altar, a home for Jewish students, a community center that will serve students, the university, and the broader Fredericksburg community. And it's just very exciting to be here for this exciting development. I want to now invite Larry to share his remarks as part of this exciting day.
Our family felt very strongly about bringing this home to the Jewish students at Mary Washington. I grew up literally on the other side of the university, a block away, and played on what I believe now is a parking lot, but it used to be an athletic field. My mother grew up in Fredericksburg. Her life was spent here. And my father came here as a young man after World War II and came in business in 1947 from Tappahannock, Virginia. So, being active members of the community, my family has always been charitable. We have always been sensitive to help needs. The Jewish life at Mary Washington, University of Mary Washington, has, since I was very young, has always had some Jewish students. But candidly, it never really had its own facility. Nothing could be better served for our family than to build this facility and name it after my parents, who loved Fredericksburg, certainly loved the University of Mary Washington, and it was a great way to honor them. I myself, in the 80s, served on the Board of Visitors at Mary Washington University, and that added to my love of the university and to the respect of what it's given to the community. It's really been a tremendous asset to Fredericksburg, and an asset that is going to grow, an asset that's going to, where the city can serve the university and the university can serve the city on an ongoing basis even more. And it is our hope that in honoring my parents, Maxine and Carl Silver, that this facility will grow and the students that it will attract will add to the honor of the university, that they will accomplish many great things. They'll give back to the university, which is always important for universities to grow, and that is our goal. So with that said, I thank everybody who has been involved in this project.
Jewish tradition teaches us that the Mezuzah contains many messages. Every mezuzah contains a small scroll that carries in it the deepest and most sacred tenets of our faith. The primary purpose of a mezuzah is to serve as a reminder and a symbol. It reminds us of our one God, of our covenant with him, but just as importantly, it contains the verses warning us not to forget our tradition and our heritage. It tells us to keep and cherish our unique identity. It charges us with doing, quote, what is right and what is good, and compels us to strive higher. This symbol of Jewish faith has been hung on doorposts all over the world for thousands of years. It was hung on the doorposts of the chamber of the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, in the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. It was installed on the great institutions of learning and scholarship in Babylon, on the homes of thriving Jewish communities in Europe and Asia, South America, and the Middle East. These precious mezuzot were also abandoned on the doorposts in Spain during the Inquisition, burned in the fires of violent pogroms throughout Eastern Europe, and more recently soaked in the blood and tears of the Holocaust. While anti-Semitism still does exist, we are grateful that in this country we maintain our freedom to broadcast this symbol of our identity to the world. May this mezuzah be met with respect and reflection on the doorway of this beautiful building for many years to come. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidishanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu likboa mezuzah. Having more recently enjoyed a Jewish life on campus experience, Spencer played a sizable role in the creation of this project and has been a vital force bringing us to where we are today. Spencer has shown a keen understanding of what can elevate and grow this institution to perform this most pivotal role in the lives of students. I'd like to call up Spencer to make the blessing of Shehechianu, which thanks God for bringing us to a momentous place and time.
I just want to say a quick word about my grandparents, Maxine and Carl D. Silver. Two things about them is they were very proud of two things. One, they were from Fredericksburg, Virginia, and two, that they were Jewish. So being able to have this facility here in their hometown to help create a Jewish home for students at University of Mary Washington is really an amazing way to honor their memory. I'll say the Shehechianu, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
When it comes right down to it, we're here for one primary reason: to support students and enrich their lives so they may enrich the lives of the Jewish community and the world. Rachel Benediz is a senior, the current president of the Jewish Student Association, an on-campus club under the James Farmer Multicultural Center. Throughout the consultation process about cultivating this Hillel to serve students in the best way possible, Rachel has been a very valuable part of that effort and shown great leadership in her role. I'd like to now call upon Rachel to say a few words about what this Hillel means to the Jewish student life of Mary Washington.
Hi everyone. My name is Rachel Benediz. I'm a senior at UMW studying political science, and I'm also the president of the Jewish Student Association. I'm so excited to be standing here with you all in front of the Silver Center. This building has been something that I've looked forward to for years, and it's really surreal that it's finally here. Safe spaces like the new Hillel Center and the James Farmer Multicultural Center are so important for students like me to reach their full potential academically and socially. I can't wait to see Jewish student life at UMW flourish through the Jewish Student Association and Hillel in the upcoming years, with the many Shabbat dinners, speakers, and events. The new Hillel Center will give Jewish students a chance to get in touch with Judaism and educate the UMW community about Judaism. I can't wait for UMW to form a community around this building and to grow even more.
The strength of a campus, and in fact, the strength of a university is its community, with a real emphasis on the word unity of community. And today really marks the culmination of a long-held dream by those who are here and by so many more who could not be here this morning. And it would be difficult to overstate what this means to our Jewish students and alumni who are so incredibly excited to see this happen for the faith community. They hope for this day and they dream for this day. It's also a great day forward for our strong interfaith community and for the university's continual effort to create community rich in diversity. Today, as we hang the mezuzah, We also celebrate a center that will allow for an exploration of faith and the embrace of those who are cherished members of this Mary Washington family. And on behalf of the students and the alumni and our larger community, I want to thank Larry Silver, Spencer Silver, your entire family, and the Silver companies for your incredible support to make this happen. While I never had the pleasure of knowing your parents, they are truly iconic in this community, and it is so wonderful to see that their legacy carries on in this center. So we thank you for bringing to us to unity together.
Larry, Spencer, and the Silver family, just can't thank you enough for this incredible investment in this community. I can tell you, as Lisa said, I've been president here at the University of Mary Washington. I'm in my 5th year, so I arrived here back in 2016. It doesn't take long to get to know the Silver name when you're in Fredericksburg. You talked, Spencer, about how your grandparents were proud of 2 things, and one of those 2 things was being a member of the Fredericksburg community. Well, I can assure you that it's reciprocal, that this community is incredibly proud to be the home of the Silver family, to create this space and this home for our Jewish students, but also what I think will be a home for the broader Jewish community throughout Fredericksburg. And I look forward to the time after we get through the pandemic where we can have not just another celebration to dedicate this facility that will attract more people, but many celebrations to come, that this really is going to be a hub and a safe space for our Jewish students. This is going to add to the intellectual, social, and cultural life of all of our students, particularly our Jewish students. This is an investment that I can tell you that there will be not only hundreds, but thousands of lives that will be blessed as a result of this investment, Larry. One of the things that excites me the most is that I think we're going to see the Jewish community expand here at Mary Washington as a result of this investment. And I couldn't be more excited. This is just such a beautiful facility. As you said, I don't think it could be in a better location. Right across from campus, very visible. I really appreciate the architecture, that you seem to blend it into the broader university architectural so well, that it seems to almost really assimilate and almost look as if it's a part of the campus. It's just a beautiful, beautiful facility. So thank you so much, Larry, Spencer, the Silver family, for your investment in Mary Washington and our students and the broader Fredericksburg community. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The symbol of Mary Washington is an eagle. The eagle makes several appearances in Jewish liturgy and texts, but I want to zero in just one of those instances. In Shemot, which is Exodus, when God references the way in which he brought the Jewish nation out of Egyptian bondage, God said, "I lifted you on the wings of eagles and brought you to me." The rabbis of the Tanaic age, roughly 1,500 years ago, pondered why of all wildlife, to bring an analogy, is an eagle chosen. The rabbis answer that the eagle, recognizing the threat of attacks from below, arrows and such, but rarely ever from above, would rather place their young on their wings so as to shield themselves from the attacks from below. In this way, the hallmark of the eagle is the ability to sacrifice and place the well-being of their children above their own. I've been amazed at the care and concern that this university has put into cultivating a culture of selflessness and promoting the physical and mental welfare of its students above all else. Having had the chance to meet many students already, I can tell that this university attracts some of the brightest, most thoughtful young people anywhere. There's an often used phrase in Judaism called midot tovot, which generally translates to good character. The students of Mary Washington exemplify midot tovot. I am so excited about getting to know this campus and community better. For now, that is limited to one-on-ones and small socially distanced gatherings, but I'm confident that in the not too distant future, this will include big Shabbat dinners, holiday services, social events, and cultural celebrations. There are many people to thank, and risking leaving anyone out, I want to individually thank some people who have led us to this moment. We would have loved to welcome all of these people, but given the constraints of what we are living through, we will have to suffice with the knowledge that they are watching this broadcast or will watch this broadcast and sharing with our joy virtually. First, I want to reiterate my thanks to the Silver family, Silver companies, and Silver Foundation for this beautiful facility and opportunity to provide this experience to students at Mary Washington. This institution will serve as a legacy not only for Maxine and Carl, but for the whole Silver family. I'd like to thank the entire team at Hillel International, from the president's staff who have been so generous with their time, to the entire Schusterman International Center team for their commitment to all of their Hillel centers around the world, but particularly this project. I want to single out someone who I know really wishes that she could have been here for this event and has been a mentor for me personally, Rebecca Simons. To the Mary Washington administration, we thank you for your warm welcome and embrace of this project from the very beginning. Your reaffirmed commitment to this cause, as exemplified in your remarks today, places us on a very strong footing to build a lasting and impactful Hillel Center that will no doubt sustain for many years to come. Last but not least, the UMW students who make it a pleasure to come to work every day and are certainly the leaders of tomorrow. I know that this is just the first of very many more milestones in the life of what will be a growing and lively community here at the Maxine and Carl D. Silver Hillel Center at the University of Mary Washington.